We're going to talk about Patriots Buccaneers. Probably was the game of the week, at least for Sunday, heading in. And at the end of it, the Patriots, man, they get themselves a statement game. Drake Maye has now been pushed to the top of the MVP odds. I want to say he's like a plus 200, somewhere right around there, which of course is still like a pretty decently long shot, but I mean, that's only because there's a good bit of competition for the award. And for the game, he goes 16 of 31, 270 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a pick. That pick wasn't great. Trevion Henderson, 14 carries, 147 yards, and 2 touchdowns. He had two awesome explosive runs that we're going to talk about. And for the Bucs, Baker goes for 273 yards, 3 touchdowns, a good bit of stat boosting at the end, but hey, can't blame him, man. And that Bucs run game wasn't all too effective with Bucky Irving out. And we just talked about it. Drake Maye, he's so good. Like one of the big stats that I don't know why the national media has started to hate on a bit, completion percentage, he has been phenomenal. And why I value completion percentage, just because it doesn't stop the clock. Incomplete passes stop the clock. And, you want it's like the same value of why teams love running the ball so much, even if it gets them like less yards per play than a pass proportionally does. And it's just because you can make downs shorter. You don't have to get into third and longs. You're keeping the ball moving. There's just so much value to ensuring you complete your passes. And again, this Tampa game was not the best in terms of that. He went 16 to 31. But if you look as far as the whole year goes, he has been the best in the league at that. In fact, he set a franchise record against Tennessee for completion percentage in a game. So that's been great. And then the thing that's been getting a lot of attention is his deep balls are freaking awesome. Like he's the best deep ball thrower in the entire league right now. And it's not particularly close. He had this beautiful little deep ball to Matt Collins that should have led to a touchdown later in the drive, but that's where his big mistake of the game came with an end zone interception. He had this like beautiful throw to Kyle Williams where he was getting killed in the pocket, and it goes to Kyle Williams, and perfect in stride. He's able to catch it on the crosser, and he just turns on the Jets because that's what he does. Beautiful, beautiful throws. Drake Maye has just been consistently awesome, and he's been really clutch too on like third and longs. And again, just so much credit to Drake Maye and the Patriots because they are 8-2 right now, and they are in firm control of that division. Outside of that, Trevion Henderson, I think we can finally kill the meme of give anyone but Trevion Henderson the ball that the Patriots have been liking to do for the first 9 games. Of course, I think he's not like he's of course not the most consistent runner. Frankly, he's a rookie, and that's not his game. He's like an super hyper explosive player. But to like give him 5 carries, 8 carries, what they were giving him before Ramondre went out was criminal. So getting him the ball more and letting him really just like give you those explosive plays was huge. And it is the thing that ended up winning them this game. He of course had that giant game sealing run with a few minutes left to go in the game that gave the Patriots the game. So he has been awesome. I don't think he should be like the primary in the backfield. He shouldn't be the bell cow. He shouldn't be getting like 26 carries a game. No. Whenever Ramondre is back, even though I'm not the biggest Ramondre guy, you give Henderson like 15 a game. You give Ramondre 10 a game. Maybe you work in Jennings. Maybe you work in. I saw Deontay Foreman was getting some work. I would like this to be like the Lions with Sonic and Knuckles, Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery. Right now, I'd argue they don't have a Knuckles. I just hate Ramondre Stevenson's fumbling stuff, but in theory, with less carries, there would be less of an issue with him fumbling. So hopefully that can work itself out. Their offensive line play as well for the Patriots heading into the year, it didn't look that good, right? Because it's like they drafted Will Campbell, so great. Hopefully that tackle spot works itself out. But outside of like that, they've been pretty serviceable, to be honest. They haven't been, of course, been like a top tier unit in the league or whatever, but they've been more than serviceable in the run game, and they've been giving Drake Maye like some time to throw, which against his Tampa team was really, really impressive. Now for the defense. What Vrabel has these guys doing on defense, man. If you look on paper, it's not like the most extremely talented unit. Like Christian Gonzalez is awesome. I like some of their veterans. I like Spillane a lot. Of course, I'm a big Milton Williams guy. I'd argue that he should have been the Super Bowl MVP because of the impact he had in that game. But it feels like so long ago that this defense, week 1 of the year, got cooked by Geno Smith for 450 yards, huh? That doesn't sound like real when I'm saying it out loud. That's crazy. But this defense is on the younger side, and they really have matured. They looked awesome against that really, really good Tampa team. And overall, when it comes to this team, there's been a lot of debate post this game about like whether the Patriots are Super Bowl contenders, whether they can actually go win it this year. When everyone thought they were going to be like this fun, maybe frisky team, and when I look at it, I'm just like being fully objective. I see a superstar quarterback who keeps the ball moving, who can be really efficient and can be really deadly. I see a running game that has so much explosiveness. I see the one of the best run defenses in football. So, in theory, there's nothing to say no. Like, the thing that would hold you back is just like, oh, they're young. Which, sure, I think that's a fair critique. But we've seen young. Usually, there's like a very simple way to win in the NFL is have a star quarterback and a really good run defense. And that's exactly what the Patriots have. Plus, not to mention, they have an incredible path to the 1 seed. So we just talked about how their path to the AFC East has gotten a lot better this weekend with the Bills against the Dolphins, that mess. And outside of this Buccaneers game was the hardest game they have on their schedule for a while because they get the Jets on Thursday. They get the Bengals, the Giants, then the Bills. That's going to be a big game for them. The Ravens, I think that'll be the biggest test they have for the regular season. And then the Jets and the Dolphins. So realistically, if like worst comes to worst, they lose the Bills in the Ravens game and they're 13-4. Like that's still enough to win the division. I don't think Buffalo is going to go undefeated the rest of the way. So they're going to have the division, and in all likelihood, I think they have the easiest path to the 1 seed, which would be if they split the Bills or the Ravens, they're probably going to be the 1 seed. So, again, there's nothing to say right now that this team can't go win the Super Bowl, which is crazy when you consider preseason expectations and all that. What Drake Maye and Mike Vrabel have done to turn around this team in just 1 year has been unbelievable. Now for Tampa. Top note I have is just this shit isn't good. It's when you looked at how good Tampa was playing the first like 5 to 6 weeks of the year, it feels like such a different team. I know that they have receiver injuries, right? They have Mike Evans out. Chris Godwin, God knows when he's going to be back to 100%. I think that might even require 1 more year. That injury was just so bad. That O-line got decimated by injury, but that's starting to get a little better. And even then, though, like this just can't be acceptable. Baker has went from like the easiest MVP choice in the league to a guy who's kind of struggling at times. Of course, I'm thinking that as far as struggles go, like that Lions game, he was bad. He was just flat out bad. This game, he wasn't as bad as that, but it doesn't look like the Baker we saw from a few weeks ago. And whether that's all because of the injuries to the team and like his supporting cast started getting degraded, or just like, averages returning to normal, I'm not sure. So I need to start seeing the old Baker back, even if their record right now is really good. And of course, their division is easy as all hell. And as far as their defense goes, like Todd Bowles is a hell of a DC. There's so much talent on that defensive side of the ball. They have good play everywhere. They have one of my favorite players in the entire league in Vita Vea and a really, really good D-line. It's just, and like play per play, they're great. But it's just that every once in a while, they give up a 70-yard touchdown that breaks the camel's back entirely. This game, they gave up a 60-yard to Trevion Henderson to open up the half, and then they gave up a 70-yard closing out run. And the whole game, they'd been playing great. They, in fact, had like this awesome forced turnover on Drake Maye in the end zone to save a touchdown. Like, this defense per play has been really, really good. But, man, they just need to stop giving up the chunks. The explosives are what's killing Tampa. And it killed them against Detroit, too, with Jahmyr Gibbs popping up those 2 huge runs. If they can just stop getting in their own way as far as these explosive plays and force the other and play more of like, not even bend no break, because earlier they weren't even bending all that much. It just comes down to controlling the explosives. So whenever the hell they can figure that out, they'll go back to being like a true contender in my eyes. And it's crazy because 3 weeks ago, I had them as, in my opinion, the best team in the NFC. They were playing like the best team in the NFC. But now, like, there seems to be such a clear division because this team's just not what they were a few weeks ago. I have faith. I am, of course, I'm a Baker Mayfield glazer. I love Bucky Irving whenever he comes back. I think this offense will look better with Mike Evans eventually coming back near December. So I have full confidence that this unit can turn it around, but they need to turn this shit around quick if they want to keep fighting for one of these top spots in the NFC. Because right now it's looking more and more likely they're going to be stuck at that 4 spot like they have been the last few years.